Hi, everyone. This is Ben and Barry on football. Don't forget to click the notification bell and the subscriber button. Today's show, we're going to talk about, what's that? Free agents, Benny?
Unsigned free agents.
Unsigned free agents. Ben's got a rundown for us. Let's get right to it. Benny, what do you got?
Well, I only got a few guys. I'm not going to go over every position. Well, I probably could go over every position, but there won't be a whole bunch of names under every position. I'm going to go over after the main guys that are considered top free agents out there that probably will be signed by somebody somewhere along the line. So there's still talent, veteran talent out there floating around for teams that are probably waiting for training camp to get started. Make sure they don't have any injuries or people holding out. That's when these guys start to get signed. They start to get picked up as soon as teams figure about some holes that they can fill. And there's a good number of players at each position that are out there that are free. But I'm only going to mention the ones that I think can actually make an impact somewhere if, in fact, they do get picked up. So let's start at the quarterback position. There's a bunch of names. However, most of these names are guys that most likely will get picked up. They've played on teams already, but they're mostly backup guys. So teams that are looking for a backup or a third quarterback, there is a market out there for the Trevor Simeons and the PJ Walkers and the Blaine Gabberts and all those kind of guys. Those guys are out there, and a lot of them will get picked up as soon as teams figure out their quarterback situations. But the one major name that's out there of a guy who still has a chance to possibly be a starter is Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill has not been picked up or signed by anybody. So as far as quarterbacks are concerned, Ryan Tannehill is out there as
on that article that we posted about him, he's the number one guy that they listed.
Right. Everybody else has been a backup and probably will remain a backup. But as we know, best job in the NFL, everybody needs backup quarterbacks. So eventually these guys are going to get signed somewhere. Now, as far as running backs are concerned, some interesting names here at this position. The number one guy looks like Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, who was a major producer for the Minnesota Vikings at running back, somehow got left off of their squad in free agency, ended up with the Jets last year, and then couldn't get on the field. Kind of crazy. I don't know. But Dalvin Cook's still out there. He's a free agent. Cam Akers, kind of injury prone, but he's out there. Joshua Kelly from the Chargers is a free agent. He's out there. Kareem Hunt from the Browns is a free agent. He's out there. 1-year-old X9, couple X9ers. Matt Breida played for the Giants last year. He's free. Jerick McKinnon is out there. He's free. These are guys that can still play, that can still contribute. They can be third down backs. They can be backs in committee. All these names, Cook, Akers, Joshua Kelly, Latavius Murray, Kareem Hunt, are all out there, and I'm sure will find themselves on an NFL team sometime soon.
You know, one of my favorites out of all of those guys is probably Kareem Hunt. You know,
yeah,
he's so versatile, so strong, so fast. I wouldn't mind him, but see, Kareem, I guess he was a backup with the Browns, right? He wasn't the starter.
Yes, he was the backup behind Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb, yeah. So, I wouldn't mind him coming over to the Niners and backing up CMC. That'd be a heck of a backup right there, boy, man.
Yeah, and like I said, it depends on the team that picks them up. All these guys can serve as a third down back because they're all good out of the backfield. They can all catch the ball. So if a team needs a third down back, boom, there's a market for them. If a team wants to have running back by committee, boom, there's a market for them there too. So I expect most of those guys to find jobs somewhere during training camp or right before training camp or before training camp is over.
Interesting how much is getting done before those choices are being made, though. I mean, the whole draft, like you were talking about in the previous show, signing your number one draft picks, and
Yes.
you've got all these young men coming out of the draft.
Right.
You now have to go through, you've gone through OTAs, maybe you're going through OTAs, and you have your mini camps and your but these are guys who've been in the NFL. They've shown what they can do. And right now, you're waiting for all that other dust to settle before you decide on these free agents.
Right. So there's levels to this, right? So the teams have priorities. If you remember before the draft, when free agency first opened up, guys were flying off the free agency list, going to teams. Teams were grabbing guys right away. They grabbed basically the cream of the crop of the free agent market. These are the guys that are left over. But I hate to say leftovers because a lot of these guys still got the goods. A lot of these guys still can play and will still probably end up somewhere with somebody. Some of those running backs that I mentioned could, in fact, I believe, age-wise and production-wise, could still, if they go to the right situation, find themselves as starters. Most of these wide receivers that are still left out there, though, could possibly find themselves as starters as a wide receiver 3 on a team that likes to run a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, or possibly the number 2 guy if they get in the right situation. We're talking about guys like Michael Thomas, can't guard Mike from the Saints. Hunter Renfrow has been released by the Vegas Raiders. Mecole Hardman, who left the Chiefs, went to the Jets, and came back to the Chiefs and got a Super Bowl ring. He's out there. He's free. Corey Davis, Julio Jones, who might be at the end of the road, but he's still out there. He has not retired. Russell Gage, so on and so forth. Most of these other guys here are probably looking at being backup guys. But that's the head of that list as far as wide receivers are concerned. And when we get to some of the other positions, the pickings get a little bit slimmer. There's a couple tight ends out there that are worth noting. Logan Thomas used to play for the Commanders. He's pretty good. I see him definitely getting a job. Jimmy Graham's been around for a long time. He did play last year. Jimmy Graham. Yeah, he's been around for a while. But
he had a couple good big plays last year, if I remember.
Yeah, he's still got some juice. He's still got some juice. and he can block. Offensive tackles, Donovan Smith, David Bakhtiari, veteran from the Packers, is out there. G.J. Humphreys. Jason Peters just refuses to retire, folks. Jason Peters, longtime Eagle, played for the Cowboys, and he played in the playoffs with somebody last year. I can't remember who the heck it was. But anyway, Jason Peters is still out there for somebody. Some of these linemen will probably be sitting on their couches through the preseason waiting for people to get hurt. That's usually the way that goes. Guards, the same thing. Dalton Reisner, Phil Haynes, Vaitai, Greg Van Roten. These are the kind of names you're going to see at the guard position. No big name centers. Let's see what else we got here. Edge rushers. Emmanuel Agba. Yeah. He's out there. Yeah, he's out there. Yannick Ngakoue. He's still out there. Those are the big names there. And as far as DBs are concerned, let's see. Oh, D tackles. Calais Campbell. He's been around. He's been on a lot of teams. I think it was with the Ravens last year. Longtime Cardinal. But Calais Campbell still got some juice. He can still get you some pretty good pass rush from the inside. Pretty good run stopper. He's really big. Hassan Ridgeway. Oh, boy. I'm trying to look for guys that I know are going to show up somewhere. Here's a guy I thought was going to show up for somebody last year around playoff time, but I don't think anybody picked him up. Shaq Leonard is still out there. He played for the Colts. Cornerbacks. This is a tough position here. Xavier Howard
Yeah.
who's still a really good player,
Yeah.
has not been, he's still out there. Crazy, huh? Adoree Jackson, still out there. Stephon Gilmore, at one time considered the #1 corner in the league, is still out there. Steven Nelson, still out there. Play for the Bills, play for the Eagles. Patrick Peterson, he's getting a little long in the tooth, but he's still out there. J.C.
That's what I'm
Jackson,
going to say.
still out there. So there's some corners, veteran, experienced corners that are still out there. So if you're a fan of a team that you think they need some DB help, there is help out there. They just got to go get it. Safeties, same thing. We got some names. Justin Simmons, Eddie Jackson, Marcus May, Micah Hyde. Micah Hyde is a really good safety. Been playing for the Buffalo Bills his whole career, I believe. He's out there. Quandre Diggs, out there. Jamal Adams gets injured a lot, but a big hitter. He's out there. It's crazy. So, yeah, there's a lot of DB talent. That's probably the most talented position or two positions, cornerback and safety, that's out there as far as available players who still got a lot of juice and can make a difference on a team.
Wow, wow. And we talked in the previous show about how you have these preliminary forecasts as to who's going to start where and who's going to be first and who's going to win this and all that. With all of that talent yet to be added to a team, that could really make a difference, That could really make a difference. And Ben, I would expect that you're probably going to have at least some players coming out of the UFL because they're about to hit their championship series. So they'll be done
right
for the end of June, and so those players that have played well and have showed up, they're possible,
yes
feeds into
yes
the NFL also. So still waiting. That's why I'm waiting to do my backup quarterback show until a little bit later because you don't know who's going to be. Can you imagine Ryan Tannehill, somebody backup quarterback? I'm gonna have to include that in there.
that could happen.
So that's a good possibility. Wow. All right, great show, man. Thank you much. Ben and Barry on football. Again, don't forget to click the like button and the subscriber button and the notification bell and all of that good stuff. Thanks a lot. www.benandbarryonfootball.com.